We here at Touchdown Alabama have been able to gather intel about the Crimson Tide's quarterback battle. Will Ty Simpson win the battle as the veteran, experienced quarterback? Is he the front runner? Can Keelan Russell, the true freshman, 5-star prize quarterback, win this quarterback competition in year one? Is Austin Mack still a sleeping giant in the Crimson Tide's quarterback battle this spring? Like I said, we've been able to talk to multiple sources who have watched the Crimson Tide scrimmage, people who have seen the Crimson Tide practice throughout the spring as well, and we're going to provide you guys the breakdown of where Alabama's quarterback battle currently stands. So let's dive right into it. How's it going, everyone? Justin Smith here, the Director of Recruiting and Managing Editor here at Touchdown Alabama. And on today, I'm going to take a look at the Crimson Tide's quarterback battle and where it stands heading into A-Day, with the Crimson Tide set to host a spring practice, an hour-and-a-half spring practice on Saturday. Alabama fans will get an opportunity to see the quarterback battle and where it stands with their own eyes if they are able to make it out. So as you all know, the Crimson Tide have a three-way quarterback battle on their hand. Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, and Keelan Russell. When you take a look at this battle before the spring even started, I guess the main topic and the main point that I always looked at before this battle kicked off this spring was there's not much experience in this room in terms of meaningful snaps, and that is what made this quarterback battle so very interesting before the spring even started, because that in my mind made it seem like, yo, this battle could go either way. We know that Ty Simpson is the most experienced. We know Keelan Russell is supposed to be this great difference maker type of talent. We know that Austin Mack is in a familiar system with him playing under Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer at Washington. But now at this particular point in the spring, in my opinion, by what I've heard and based on information that we've gathered as a credentialed media here at Touchdown Alabama, I feel that it is very simple. Ty Simpson is the expected winner of the quarterback competition right now, and I think that is what most people should have expected it to be at this particular point in this quarterback battle, simply because he just has more experience being a college quarterback. He knows how to manage in terms of school and manage practice, and basically has watched the guys in front of him, Jalen Miro, for the last two football seasons, basically digest information and knows how to put it back out in practice. Kind of like what Ryan Grubb said during his first media availability. Ty Simpson was the guy who took the biggest jump from day one to day two in terms of processing information. I think that is what you would have expected from a veteran guy like Ty Simpson. I think Keelan Russell, when you look at him, I think where he's at is kind of like what you should have expected. If you expected him to come in basically in January, which basically means January, February, March, now in April, he has 3 months in terms of being a college athlete experience under his belt. So right now, what many coaches are going to tell you, he's drinking out of a water hose. He's basically having to take in all this information, go to these in-depth team meetings, be in an unfamiliar territory in terms of the campus of the University of Alabama, in terms of being there every single day. He has to juggle all of this transition and compete for one of the most coveted quarterback jobs in college football. So right now, you wouldn't expect him to just come in and be able to do everything at such an extremely high level. But what we have heard from people who have watched practice, people who have seen him throughout this spring, they say it's easy to tell that he is a special talent. He stands out, and I can see why they say that. I watched him at the Under Armour All-America practice, and I don't think he threw a single bad pass. Was consistent throughout that practice. And the way that he throws the football, that effortless release that he seems to have, that whip release he seems to throw the football with, that's mesmerizing the first time that you see it. So it is no surprise to me that once people leave an Alabama scrimmage, you're telling me, yo, it's easy to tell that freshman is a special talent. He's different than those other two quarterbacks. You can tell, but there's still times where he makes those freshman mistakes, and you can tell that he is a for sure freshman. So Keelan Russell, in my opinion, he's right where I thought he would be at this particular point in this battle. The thing I would say about Keelan Russell is that he's going to look a lot different in the fall compared to right now, because he's going to be able to leave the spring, go through the entire summer and be like, hey, I saw that this wasn't how this was supposed to be operated. It's supposed to be operated this way. This didn't work in this system. Hey, I got to do it this way. He's going to be able to take that information and learn from it. And I think he's going to look a lot different this fall. So Russell remains in this quarterback battle, in my opinion, strictly based on that, strictly based on the fact that he's a young guy. Like I said, only 3 months of experience being a college athlete, and he's still getting rave reviews by the people who are attending the Crimson Tide scrimmages. Kalen DeBoer is speaking highly about Russell, saying he's making all the throws that he needs to make. When there's a throw to be made, they have no problem with him making that throw. It's just about him being consistent, which is what Ryan Grubb spoke about when he talked to ESPN's Chris Lowe. He said that neither one of these quarterbacks have created separation. None of them have been consistently great. So that makes a lot of sense when you just take a look at this battle and where Russell stands and why this is still a tight quarterback battle. But another thing to keep in mind is that Austin Mack is very much involved in this quarterback battle. And you're going to hear a lot of people talk about, hey, this guy is in front or whatever you may hear. But I think it's something else to just keep at the forefront. And I believe that Austin Mack is for sure very much alive in this battle for a couple of different reasons. One of those reasons is kind of like what we said earlier. He's at Alabama now after transferring from Washington, previously playing on the Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb at Washington. But I actually talked to someone at one of the Crimson Tides scrimmages, and he told me that one of the coaches on Alabama staff told him that number 10, Austin Mack, is making it interesting. Don't count him out. This battle is really tight. Players are really high on Austin Mack. And this is something very similar to what ESPN's Chris Lowe said recently about Alabama's quarterback battle after spending time around the Crimson Tide over the last couple of days or so. He basically said that Austin Mack is basically a legitimate option in this quarterback battle, and there are a lot of players who are supporting Mack and what he brings to the table. So Austin Mack, like I said earlier, I think he's a legitimate option, and he just shouldn't be slept on just based on his size and kind of like what he has shown in terms of his deep ball, which is kind of like what I have noticed from him in terms of the limited action that we've seen from him. But everything from all of the intel that we've gathered from Alabama football practices is that Austin Mack is very much involved in this quarterback battle as well, and he shouldn't be counted out. But this battle is not going to end anytime soon. It's expected to carry on to the fall, which is like I said earlier, which is kind of like what you guys should have expected. Ryan Grubb talked about it continuously, compares his quarterback battle to Washington's previous quarterback battle with Michael Penix and a few other guys that the Huskies had on their roster, speaking about why they took it into the fall, because they felt it benefited the team. So I don't think they will venture away from that route. I think holding this battle until the fall could benefit Alabama in several different ways. And I think it is going to benefit Austin Mack and both Russell, because in my opinion, I think they're going to look a lot different in the fall, and the narrative could quickly start to change. But like I said earlier, right now, in my opinion, based on what I have gathered and based on the intel we have gathered here at Touchdown Alabama, I think Ty Simpson should be your expected starter at this particular point, just based on the spring that he has had, just based on him being able to lead the offense at times, so him just looking like the veteran guy on the team. But like so many people are saying, he hasn't won a job yet. Like, he has to win it. And that's another thing the source told me that Austin Mack was very much alive in his battle, and the coach told him that. He told me that the coach also said Ty Simpson has to win this battle. He has to go out and get it. It's not going to be given to him. He has to basically take over that quarterback room, take over this team to be able to secure that QB1 spot. So right now, what you're hearing in terms of Ty Simpson being a leader, I would say it is true at this particular point in time. I know Greg McElroy, former Alabama quarterback, said he's heard that Ty Simpson has a firm control over the quarterback battle. I probably wouldn't say firm control, but he should be the expected leader leading out of this spring. But I think the thing that's most important when you look at this battle in my mind right now is that Austin Mack and Russell are going to be looking a lot different in the fall. Simpson could look a lot different as well. How do these guys take what happened during the spring, move it over to the fall, and how effective can they be when Alabama's basically going to be up against the wall, where they have to decide who their next starting quarterback is going to be, at least have to figure out who's going to start against Florida State. But that is the update I wanted to provide you guys with today in discussion that I wanted to take a look at, with the Crimson Tide's quarterback battle continuing through the spring, most likely not going to end anytime soon. Most people we here at Touch Alabama expect it to carry on through the fall, most likely, when the Crimson Tide get back to work for fall camp in preparation for the 2025 football season in their second year under Kalen DeBoer. But as always, before you guys leave, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Subscribe to the notification bell, be notified when we drop content on our YouTube channel. As always, I am Justin Smith, the Director of Recruiting and Managing Editor here at Touch Alabama.